Hey everybody, it's Emily Dark Schooling, and today I'm going to do a book haul. Today's book haul is going to be much smaller than my usual book hauls. This should only take me a few minutes to go through. It's a much smaller stack because I'm not currently collecting for anything. These are just books that I've picked up over the last couple of weeks, and I thought it would be fun to show you. First up, I picked this book up for my youngest because I thought it looked really cool. And it is Masterpieces, The Art of Problem Solving by Greg Tang. We like his books a lot. We've borrowed them from the library many times. The pictures are great. There's real pieces of art to look at. And then like little math riddles to solve. So you really can't go wrong with that. Next up, I picked up the book Brazen, Rebel Ladies Who Rocked the World by Penelope Bagley. And this is a graphic novel style book with colorful illustrations, all about a pretty wide variety of awesome women. And I thought this would be fun for my daughters, but also for me, because I enjoy a good graphic novel biography, and this just looked fun, and also the artwork is just super pretty. I am excited to read this book. Next up is a book I actually did pick up with something in mind. I'm like baby steps collecting for level 12. And this is a new release that sounded like something that could potentially work in level 12 since it's going to be American history. And it's called There, a novel by Tommy Orange. And I don't actually know a whole lot about what this is about, but I know it has to do with Native Americans, and I don't know if it's so much history as in present day. I'm not sure if it's contemporary, but it's been getting really great reviews, and I just wanted to get my hands on it and read it and see what I thought. But yeah, this is a potential for level 12, which is completely crazy because I'm not even beginning to work on that for another like 3 months. But you know, I picked it up anyway. Next up, actually the next two books I'm going to talk about, the next three books I'm going to talk about I bought while I was working on level 11, and I just either didn't include them or included part of one. So anyhow, the first one I'm going to talk about is Black Rain, a novel by Masuji Ibuse, and this is all about the fallout from the bombing of Hiroshima. And it's came highly recommended. It didn't fit into the puzzle of level 11. Not necessarily content, I didn't have the space. And so I still want to read it though, because after reading a couple of books on the subject matter, I was just fascinated and I wanted to read more, and so I'm hoping to pick this up sometime. Also picked up The Painted Bird by Jerzy Kosinski, and this is about World War II, and it's supposed to be this brilliant work. I've never even heard of it. I don't know how, it's just never been on my radar. This is about a child who is abandoned in Poland during the war, and I think, I might be wrong, because I don't know a lot about it, but I think the premise is that the parents were Jews and they were taken to the camps and killed, and somehow this little boy managed to escape, but no one will take him in because they are afraid of the consequences of doing so. And so this child is just sort of like left on his own to become feral and starving, and it sounds very tragic and a little bit disturbing, honestly, but I really want to read it because I enjoy this sort of thing. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm obsessed with this time period and reading more and more about it, and I've never heard of this book and I really want to read it. Next up is the trilogy by Elie Wiesel, Night, Dawn, and Day. I've only ever read Night, and I've read Night numerous times, like probably a good dozen at least. And it's one of my favorite books on this time period. And I've always wanted to read the rest, and it occurred to me that I should just buy it and then I'll have it and then hopefully I'll pick it up. So yeah, this is definitely on my radar to pick up soon because, like I said, I've always wanted to read the rest of the books in this series. And I don't even know what the rest of it entails. I'm not sure if it's like a direct like timeline of events or if it's completely different. I have no idea. These next two books were pre-orders that came this month, and I'm pretty excited about both of them. This first one is The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. This is a young adult sci-fi thriller about this girl who is alone in space. She's on a ship and she's very lonely, and she's sort of been carrying on this email correspondence with this one person on another ship, and they meet up and things are not what they seem. That's really all I know. But I'm fascinated by the premise and I really want to pick this up. I think it sounds pretty darn fast-paced and exciting, and I really want that right now. I feel like I need a good sci-fi thriller. The other book I pre-ordered is My Plain Jane, and this is by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. About a year ago, I think, I don't remember if it was this past year or the year before, I read My Lady Jane, which was a spoof retelling of the story of Jane Grey, you know, the 90s queen. I'm kind of obsessed with her story, and what I heard, there was a Monty Python style spoof about it. I needed it, and while I enjoyed it, it wasn't like the best book I ever read, but I definitely had a lot of fun with it. So when I heard they were coming out with a book similar in style but about Jane Eyre, how could I not pick this up? I have no idea how they're doing this. Like, the My Lady Jane was completely ridiculous. Like, the storyline was totally different from the historical story. You know, they had this romance. They turned into animals. There was this whole weird thing with that. It was weird and fun and cutesy, and I enjoyed it. So I'm kind of looking forward to picking this up. I only have 2 more books to show you. I told you this is small. I have, on the same note as that last book, I have The Mad Woman Upstairs, a novel of the last Bronte by Catherine Lowell. And this is sort of, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Honestly, I bought this for the cover and the title. I love Jane Eyre. It's one of my favorite books. And so whenever I see something that's like related to it, I'm curious and I want to read more. So I don't know exactly if this is a play on Jane Eyre specifically. It sounds like it would be about Rochester's wife, but I don't know, because it says a novel of the last Bronte, that it might have something to do with the Bronte sisters. I don't know, but I'm curious. And the last book I picked up was, again, while the subject matter is of high interest to me, it was the cover, really, because just look how pretty that is. This is Wars of the Roses, and it's the first in a series called Stormbird, and it's by Con Igilden. I think I'm saying it right. Igilden? I'm so bad with names. But anyway, this is the first in a series about the Wars of the Roses, and I love that time period. I got into it once I started reading more about the Tudor period, and I kind of went backwards in time a bit, and I find it very fascinating, and I haven't read that many books about it, which I don't know why, but I picked this up, and if I like it, I'll continue with the series, but it looks to be like it's going to be a great read. It has great reviews, and this starts with the very beginnings of the War of the Roses, with Henry VI ascending the throne, and all of the things that happen when that happens. You know, him going insane and his wife Margaret of Anjou having to kind of take over for him. It sounds great. So that is my book haul. I told you this was small. It's honestly, I don't have space anymore. I'm running low on shelf space as of late, so a smaller book haul was probably a good idea. Like, seriously, I can just do this, and it's not that impressive, but it's still bigger than my head. So did you get any new books this month? I'd love to hear about it. You can let me know down below in the comments and we can chat. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm dropping books. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Happy reading. Bye!